in the days when there was no king in Israel and the laws of Moses bluntly ignored. Every man did what was right in his own eyes, and when men lost sight of God, the light in their land began to die. The roads were empty, the cities silenced. Children whispered questions their fathers couldn't answer. Mothers prayed prayers the heavens seemed too far to hear. But heaven was not silent. It was waiting for one voice that would rise above fear. And that voice would not come from a soldier, not from a king, but from a woman seated beneath a palm tree, holding the fate of a nation in her hands. Deborah. Oh, the fire of a mother in Israel. For 20 years Israel lived under the yoke of Jabin, king of Canaan, whose army commander Sisera crushed the people with iron chariots, 900 of them rolling like thunder across the plains, leaving behind dust and despair. The villages of Israel were deserted, trade routes turned to ruins. Even the strong bowed in fear. It was a time of humiliation, not just of the body, but of the soul. And yet in the highlands of Ephraim, beneath the shade of a palm, sat a woman whose heart burned against the night. Deborah, wife of Lapidoth, prophetess of the Most High. She judged Israel, not from a throne, but from under a palm tree, where people came to her with their disputes and left with their faith restored. Day after day, the cries of the people reached her ears, but it was the whisper of heaven that stirred her heart. One dawn she stood still beneath the tree, her gaze lifted toward the hills, and her lips trembled as she spoke a name. Barak, son of Abinoam. Barak, a warrior of Naphtali, strong but weary of failure. She sent for him from Kadesh, for the word of the Lord had come. The Lord, the God of Israel, commands you, go, gather 10,000 men from Naphtali and Zebulun. Go to Mount Tabor, for I will draw Sisera, the commander of Jabin's army, with his chariots and troops to the river Kishon, and I will give him into your hand. When Barak stood before her, he did not doubt her faith, he doubted his own. Barak, hesitant. If you will go with me, I will go. But if you will not go with me, I will not go. I will surely go with you. But know this, the honor shall not be yours, for the Lord will deliver Sisera into the hand of a woman. Her words struck like prophecy and promise all at once, the burden of glory and the fire of faith. Both would rest in unexpected hands. Trumpets echo, marching feet, men gathering, murmurs of determination. Word spread like wildfire through the valleys of Israel. Deborah had spoken. And when a prophet speaks, even broken hearts remember who they are. 10,000 men gathered from Zebulun and Naphtali. Farmers left their fields, shepherds their flocks, sons their fears, because a woman's courage had awakened their faith. High upon Mount Tabor they stood, their eyes turned to the plains where Sisera's iron chariots waited like storm clouds. And there, beneath the shadow of the palm, Deborah whispered her prayer, a prayer not for victory, but for faith that would not fail. Part 2. The gathering storm, soft wind, crackle of campfires, murmured prayers, far-off thunder. Night lay heavy on the camp of Israel. The air trembled with fear, and something greater than fear, the kind of silence that comes before heaven moves. Barak walked among the men, his sword hanging at his side. He saw their trembling hands, their anxious eyes, 10,000 hearts waiting for a sign that the God of their fathers still fought for them. Rustling, Deborah approaches, staff tapping the earth softly. You see their fear? But listen to it, Barak. Fear is only faith waiting to be born. She gazed toward the horizon, where dark clouds gathered like giants. It was as though the heavens themselves were preparing for war. Thunder grows louder. The distant rumble of chariot wheels approaches. Far below, Sisera's army stirred. 900 chariots of iron glinting like lightning against the dark sky. Chariot wheels, horses snort, metal rattles. Men shouted. Spears clashed. The Canaanite army moved like a living beast of iron and dust. From his vantage point, Barak's courage wavered. No man of Israel had faced such might in generations. Deborah steps forward, raising her hand. Do not fear the storm below you, Barak. It is the Lord's doing. For even the wind and rain obey his voice. The sign from heaven. A single thunderclap shakes the ground. Wind surges. Rain begins to fall. The sky tore open. Lightning split the clouds. The first drops of rain struck the earth like tears of deliverance. Deborah lifted her face to the storm, eyes ablaze. Up, Barak, for this is the day in which the Lord has delivered Sisera into your hand. Has not the Lord gone before you? At her word, 10,000 men rose as one, their fear drowned by the voice of faith. For the Lord, for Deborah, they cried, charging down Mount Tabor like a river unleashed. The battle at the river Kishon. The rain turned the plains into rivers of mud. The mighty chariots, Sisera's pride, sank and sputtered, wheels spinning helplessly. The river Kishon, once calm, now raged like a living thing, sweeping soldiers, shields, and arrogance alike into its flood. The stars themselves seemed to fight from heaven, lightning striking, wind swirling, chaos everywhere. Sisera's army broke. Their lines collapsed. The power of iron was swallowed by the hand of the Almighty. Sisera leapt from his chariot, mud splashing to his knees. He ran through the fields, past dying men, past the ruin of his pride. The commander of 900 chariots now fled on foot. Behind him Barak pursued, relentless. But Sisera vanished into the mist of his defeat, running not from men, but from the justice of God, the stillness after the storm. When the thunder ceased and the river grew calm, the men of Israel lifted their eyes and saw that heaven had fought for them. Deborah stood upon the plain, her garments drenched, her hair swept by the wind. In her eyes the reflection of victory, but her heart knew the battle was not yet finished. For one man still ran. One thread of the enemy's pride still fled across the land, and destiny waited for him. In the tent of a woman named J. Part 3. The Flight of Sisera. A tale of pursuit, divine justice, and the meeting of two women whose courage would change history. The storm had broken the armies of Canaan, but not Sisera's will to live. Alone, drenched, and breathless, the great commander of iron fled into the wilderness. His armor weighed like guilt. His sword, once shining, now dragged like a burden. Each step carried him farther from his army and closer to the hand of destiny. Subtle whisper of wind, almost spiritual, foretelling his end. The tent in the distance. As dusk descended, Sisera saw a tent, solitary, quiet, the smoke of its hearth rising like a promise of safety. Sisera sighs in exhaustion. It belonged to Heber the Kenite, allied to King Jabin, or so Sisera thought. With his approaching footsteps towards the tent, then a woman's voice, gentle, steady. Turn aside, my lord, turn aside to me. Do not be afraid. Her name was Jael, wife of Heber, her eyes calm as the evening, her heart alert as dawn. She welcomed him, covered him with a blanket, and offered him milk, not water, a gesture of comfort and cunning. Sisera now very weakly, stand at the tent door, and if anyone comes asking, say, there is no man here. His voice fades, exhaustion overtakes him. He slept, the conqueror of Israel, lulled into rest by the hand of a woman. His dreams filled with the echo of chariots that would never roll again. Jael's eyes watched him in silence. The storm outside had ceased, but another gathered within her, a conviction that pulsed like thunder in her veins. She took a tent peg in one hand and a hammer in the other. No sword, no shield, only courage and conviction. She knelt beside him, the man who had oppressed her people. His chest rose and fell, unaware that the judge of heaven had already rendered his verdict. And she drove the peg through his temple into the ground. The earth itself swallowed the sound. So fell Sisera, the terror of Israel, not by sword, but by the hand of a woman whom history would call blessed. When Barak arrived, weary from pursuit, Jael came out to meet him, her voice calm, her eyes steady with truth. Come, and I will show you the man whom you seek. There lay Sisera, lifeless, the mighty brought low, the prophecy fulfilled. God had delivered Israel by the courage of two women whose faith refused to bow. And so on that day God subdued Jabin, king of Canaan, before the children of Israel. The chains of fear broke. The land breathed again. From the palm of Deborah to the tent of Jael, the Lord had written his justice across the sky, in storm and courage and faith. The sun rose over a free Israel, and the name of Deborah burned in the wind, a mother, a prophet, a flame that darkness could not quench. Are you discouraged by anything, low skill, no attention, just as God used Jael to end the years of affliction? The Lord can use you if you can summon the courage to follow his directions. Thank you for watching. Do share, subscribe, and comment on what you just watched. If there is a story from the Bible you want us to bring to life, kindly mention it in the comments section. Until the next story, stay focused and remain blessed.